Hi everybody and welcome to 120, your Chief Contrarian Officer at your full disposal. A new war again, but this is an economic war and with new acronyms and decoupling and moving and shifting all the capacities from manufacturing of advanced technologies from China to India to the rest of it. And, we forget how we have arrived here. And it's not just about, cutting off China from semiconductors or microchips. That train has already left the station, and putting aside that China controls 80% of the upstream and processing capacity of rare earths aside, and the footprint of new capacities being developed in Western Hemisphere, put that aside. We are fixated on minerals and rare earths, and we lose sight about human capital development. We lose sight that if we are to pool on any intracity mobility system, whether it's New York subway or London tube, and ask everybody to disembark and get naked and load off their gadgets, and we do an audit, hardly anything is manufactured these days in Western Hemisphere. All of it in Asia, and a great part of that in China. Now, it's okay to say, all right, we want to move these capacities to India, but we forget that what we have been producing is mediocre politicians and decision makers who have the attention span of a fly from one election to the other, and the best thing they can do is just to print money. Now, of course, 1.4 billion people have a higher pool of attracting, developing talent, and then putting them into a grit, rigor, and testing in a vast country that is yet still very hungry to learn and develop. So what next? We tell Chinese that we're going to cut you off from advanced technologies and advanced manufacturing, but hey, Chinese, we really love to have access to your capital markets, to your pillow money and savings of trillions of dollars of your savers and pensioners and fiscal and banking market. Okay. Hey Chinese, we cannot give you any more orders on good products and on technology, but we would love to still have your commitment to climate change. It doesn't work that way. Fast forward 10 years from now, these capacities, or some of it, as myopic as it may be, have moved to India, and now India is a contender on technology, which it is in more ways than one even today. So what are we going to tell India? India, we're going to cut you off as well. That's half the population of the world between China and India. The issue at heart of this gap is not just access to microchips and semiconductors, it's to macro ideas, macro human capacity development, and focusing on narrowing this gap. If the amount of focus that has been associated in chipping at the counterparty's progress would have been focused in developing one's capabilities and capacities at the human capital level, we would have been in a different position. Whether it's one party there and 5 parties here in Western Hemisphere, whether they have pulled 400 million people out of abject poverty, and we still face today in Western Hemisphere in many countries like UK, extreme poverty issues and food banks and kids having issues at schools, it's a moment to pause, reflect, revisit, rather than just react. In between, do subscribe, and see you soon.